She went from being this pro-LGBT content creator to this anti-trans content creator.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I've done a ton of content supporting actual transsexual people, you know, just in the past 10 years or so, but I'm sure Samantha knows more about my beliefs than I do, right?
I saw somebody comment on one of her videos that her ex must have been non-binary and broke her heart, and that's why she's out here on a rampage against the trans community. I believe it. There is no explaining this craziness.
This never happened. I don't know how this rumor even started, and like multiple people, even like people with a lot of followers like Samantha, somehow have it in their head that this was a thing. I dated somebody back in 2010 that after we broke up came out as a trans man, but no, they did not break my heart, and I had a ton of other shit going on, like, you know, my dad dying of cancer at the time, to think too much into it after we ended it. She then goes on to react to a video that I posted 2 weeks ago that literally had her in it for about 30 seconds. Meanwhile, she made it seem like the entire video was about her. But your entire video was all about me. I'm just saying. So let's react and correct her reactions to my video.
No one has made this dramatic of a change yet.
This flavor of pick-me-ism is absolutely insane to me. Like, it just fascinates me.
As insane as your orange sherbet colored hair? Nose ring, check. Badly cut bangs, check.
What's going on here? What is happening? We're just getting right into it. Right into the name calling, right into the meanness. Okay, all right. Few things to point out here. Juno Rose, the person who's being reacted to, this video has 40 likes, 7 comments, 0 saves, 1 share. Arielle was searching for this video.
No, I don't search for videos about me. I'm pretty sure that people feel comfortable enough at this point in my career to hate on me very publicly. This person that I was reacting to with the orange hair, the orange sherbet colored hair, stitched me. So it came up in my mentions on TikTok and I saw it. But go on, keep on lying.
Is you coming out with a big old, I'm gay, I'm a lesbian? Is the video with you bragging about being a conservative lesbian not an example of you being a pick-me? Let's just Google pick me for ariellescarcella. Is a woman who obsessively desires male approval and validation, often at the expense of other women. So if we translate this from a pick-me girl to a pick-me gay, a pick-me lesbian, she would be a pick-me lesbian as a lesbian who obsessively desires straight approval, approval from the straights, that desires straight approval and validation, often at the expense of other LGBT people. That's what you're doing. You're saying, look at me, I'm a rational lesbian. I'm not crazy like those other LGBT people.
No lies detected here. You can call me a pick-me if you like, but I stand by what I say. And yes, I do think a good amount of outspoken queer people and some LGBT people are off the rails at the moment. And even though it is Pride Month, there are a ton of things the community should not be proud of. And I will continue to call those things out.
But even if you are a normal gay, you're expected to act a very certain way, a very digestible, tolerable way for straight people. So I would argue that you're really not that accepted. The normal gays in question, I would argue they still can't hold hands in public, right? They're only accepted because they do everything behind a closed door. They're only accepted because they don't shove it down straight people's throat. Is that a life that you would like to live, Arielle?
Coming from somebody who has literally traveled to 41 out of the 50 states, I have honestly never experienced any type of homophobia easily within the last 10 years. Does that mean that it never happens? Of course not. And when it does, I call it out. But I also keep that same energy for my own people when they be f***ing up. Shit like this. Shit like this. You look tired as fuck. Yeah, it is tiring seeing people over and over who don't know where the line needs to be drawn continue to regress us back to when people all thought we were pedophiles and simply not same-sex attracted adults. You look 50 and like you've had a rough divorce. That's honestly exactly kind of what this feels like, to be a lesbian and tell the entire community you're not a far leftist, that you're a Trump supporter, that you don't believe in 87 genders. And girl, I know exactly what partner they picked in this divorce. It wasn't me. Personally, the only bullying that I experience is from the far left. The new age conservative.
I only get bullied by the far left. Girl, look at your Twitter feed. Look at the echo chambers that you're in. This is the definition of not reading the room. The definition of like no context clues. The definition of living in a bubble. She says, I'm a lesbian. I don't get hate from anybody except for you LGBT people, you woke LGBTQs. Really? Really? Have you seen the 200 laws against gay people in this country? Have you seen that? I hate to break it to you, babe, but gay marriage is next.
When anti-gay Republicans say some dumb I'm gonna speak out. When woke leftists say some dumb shit, I'm gonna speak out. I support President Trump. I don't support every Republican or every conservative candidate or person in general. And did you know that Trump had a gay wedding at his house in Mar-a-Lago like 2 weeks ago? Bet you didn't know that. Of course. The media didn't talk about it. They want you to think that he's super homophobic and transphobic and all these other things. Somewhere in the middle, you know? Never give me shit. Even the majority of actual religious conservatives don't bully me. They might not agree with me or my lifestyle or whatever, but they don't bully me.
Girl, what do you mean? They don't agree with you? You've been talking shit about trans people for like a year, 2 years now. Of course they agree with you. Why would they not agree with you? You're catering to them.
Do I talk shit about trans people or do I talk shit about trans people? Can you read? T is literally in this photo. I don't know what to tell you if you can't read the letter T.
You've seen that a lot of liberals are now turning conservative. This video is going to explain why. Honestly, it's not.
The premise at the beginning of this video is a lie. Younger people are not in any way becoming more conservative.
I didn't say younger people. I said a lot of liberals are now turning conservative. Or
I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. Show me the citation.
I think the reason that you don't agree here is because, like most people, you are confusing the word liberal with the word leftist. The left is moving further and further to the left. Actual liberals, who used to be like right around here, like myself, are realizing that no one on the far left believes anything that they believe. But you know who does? Modern day conservatives, moderates, libertarians, people who are simply not on either far end of the spectrum, right? We have the far right, we have the far left, we have liberals somewhere in the middle over here, moderates, new age conservatives, right? It's this little section in the middle that actually is quite wider than we all think. And you say that I don't cite any examples. I mean, one example might very well be that Biden right now has 355,000 followers on TikTok. President Trump got 4.5 million followers in his first day on TikTok. Aren't most people on TikTok younger? Likely liberals who are seeing the parties switch before their eyes that no longer agree with the communist, socialist, DEI, oppressed, obsessed far left. They don't feel like they're a part of that anymore. They don't like it, or they never were, and now they found a new home.
The real truth of the matter is more people are going from Democrat and Republican to independent because they no longer are relying on this two-party system to get their views.
Turns out we're actually saying the same things in different ways. I was at UCF yesterday and I was filming a video, 2 videos actually, that are gonna come out within the next month, and not one person, and I specifically purposefully went up to people that I thought looked like liberals or leftists, right? Not one of them said that they were voting for Joe Biden. A lot of them said they weren't voting for Trump either, but nobody was voting for Joe Biden. There was maybe, I think, 4 or 5 people out of like 15 that I interviewed that said they were voting for Trump. The rest were like, I don't trust anybody.
But people are not leaving the Democratic side to become more conservative. They're leaving the Democratic side so that they're not associated with Democrats, right? But they likely still hold very liberal or leftist values.
No, because if they did hold true leftist policies at the moment, they would be for things like higher taxes, open borders, funding wars. Again, leftist and liberal mean very different things. A lot of people who thought they were on the far left are realizing, hey, like, this country isn't as safe as it was 4 years ago. My bank isn't looking great. I don't feel safe. Crime's going up. I can't afford a house. I can't afford to eat. Maybe it's time to reset, pick somebody different. I mean, it was better 4 years ago. And because of that, they are taking a step to the right, which, yes, means becoming more conservative. More, not conservative all the way, but more conservative. This is a sliding scale.
All these trans people are autistic and they're all transitioning just because they have autism. No, babe. Maybe people with autism are just more likely to be aware of their gender identity. Ever think of that?
In response to this, I want to show you a video that an ex-friend of mine or friend of mine, I don't know if we're still friends, from another trans woman I know who posted this video yesterday, who has also seen this extreme queer / non-binary / detrans trend and had a lot to say about it.
This is going to be controversial, but someone needs to say it. In recent years, there has been a lot of cases of people detransitioning. As a real transgender woman, I've noticed that my gender identity has become a trend. And so you have these confused people who are lying to their doctors saying, I'm trans. No, you're not. They got on hormones, they get on the surgery table, they get the surgery, and then a few months later, I regret this. Excuse me? You regret this because you're not really trans.
Julie and I are talking about the same people.
I don't know what people think transitioning is like, but it's not taking pills, change your name, wearing extensions, and being like, I'm a woman, and your life and all your problems go away. Sorry, babes, that's not how it works. And do you know who gets yelled at? Me. I've had people go on podcasts and be like, Gigi Gorgeous, Julie Vu, glamorize being trans, and here I am, because they made it seem so easy. I have never held a knife to your throat and say you have to transition. It's the delusion within the community. I'm sorry if I sound harsh, but this is the truth. Our gender identity has been made a mockery of because of people who are confused and do not know what they want. Whereas someone like me, I've always known since I was a child.
Yes. Ever think about that, Samantha?
Mr. Vice President, You're in your 30s. I literally follow trans people who have been out of the closet longer than you've been alive. You weren't dropped in this world out of nowhere. Don't blame your prejudice on age.
How are you going to say that I need to not be prejudiced about people's ages, and then you, in that very same, well, not in that same breath because you use the, the TikTok voice, are prejudiced about my age? You're in your 30s, grow up. Were you even alive during the 90s, like when troll dolls were a thing? Because maybe you should stop appropriating my childhood culture.
They have to talk about you, because when they talk about themselves, nobody listens.
I find the content on this page a disgrace to every woman that has fought so hard to break the glass ceiling.
Do you mean me? I'm one of those women who is still fighting for women's spaces and women's rights. Nobody owes anyone a date. We don't owe anybody our changing rooms, our safe spaces, our sports segregated for a reason. And we don't owe anyone our vote or support. This person gets it.
If you're going to express yourself in a gender non-conforming way, just learn to go into the male spaces. If I was going out like this in public, I would use like the male space. Like there's no reason for me to go into the female space. And the more we normalize feminine males, the more we normalize gender nonconforming males, then the easier it will be for males to use male spaces and for females to keep the female space protected for female.
That's enough for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up. And if you're not following me on TikTok already, go and do it, because I just filmed, like I said a few minutes ago, I filmed a ton of videos that I'm going to be posting here, but different versions and different sections of those interviews will not go here. They will go on TikTok, because different platforms want different things. You guys know how it is. Other than that, I'll see you guys back here on Sunday with a brand new video. Until then, I love you. Love yourselves. Keep calling out the bullshit. Bye.